video that I took of you two, am I permitted to use in my Facebook page?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Okay, thank you.
Is it a good one?
Well, if you're like Carrie, she'll say, first I have to look at it before you can post it. I gotta be looking hot.
That is true. So I'm going to end up repeating a couple of things I just said, just because I got it.
Yes.
Hi, my name's Jeff.
That's what I'm going to come in and say. Right. Jeff Bishop, student Brandon Cuvalier, but to give a lesson into Brandon working on a draw. Going to work on grip, stance, posture, and ball flight. All right, so we get you warmed up. If you see me looking back, I'm looking at flight scope. Let's go and drop. Real nice. So Brandon went from a hooker to hitting a pretty straight ball to then favoring a cut, which then started really having a big fade to it. So we're trying to work on getting him back into what I would consider less variation. So we're trying to take less curvature out of the ball. Most of his shots right now are starting at the green line, slight draw. Things that we're working on today again are not being too wide with his stance. So Brandon, we're going to have you again feeling like you're looking at it like this. This is narrow, that's wide. This is wedge, this is driver. Coming in here, hit the 7-iron. Again, probably about 2.5, probably 3 club heads with your heels apart. Slight flare at the feet, and that's going to help you stay a little more rotational versus lateral movement. Mind your ball position, and make sure you can see 2 knuckles in your left hand when you're setting up. So everything's good. Like your path actually has been, while we flick up his paths there for me. Your path's been pretty consistent, I'd say. Yeah, look at that. That's 4 degrees right, so we're on the right track as far as having you pushing up to the right a little bit and then having to come back. What's his face looking like? Okay. Yeah, so it's pretty much aligned with it. A little bit going left. Oh, it's a little left, isn't it? Yeah. Alright. That one was hit a little behind, so again, maybe we'll feel like on that backswing there, which is one of your moves that we're trying to get away from, was you've been getting on the outside of your right foot. You know that move right here?
Yeah.
So on the backswing, your tendency is to roll out like that. We want to keep this locked in the ground. Okay, we're going to try and keep this leg from straightening so much. So we want to create a little more tension in the body here so we can unleash a little more. And that was the move that we were talking about you practicing at home, which was on the downswing, feeling like there's a slight separation. So it's up here, staying here, and then slight separation with the knees, and that's going to allow you to explode up. Alright, so do a couple practice swings for me like that, slow motion. inside of your right foot there is going to stay on the ground. Yeah, slight separation and then through. But you got to keep that. You got to power through and then straighten your left leg. All right. Yeah, slight separation and power through. That's it. So does that feel okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked a lot more natural than the last time that you're in. Because you didn't know exactly the same,
Yeah.
but I can tell you have been working on it a little bit. Again, up to the top. You're gonna feel it. Yeah, power through. Awesome. So let's do that slow motion swing right through, nice and smooth, without hitting the ball, and then the next one will get you hitting the ball. Good. Reload. Another practice swing. Right through the routine again. Up, feel like the legs widen a little bit on the down, and then power through on the follow. Okay. That inside of your right, I want to make sure that on the backswing, that's staying planted in, like, so that part of your foot right here, that inside, that's going to feel like it's never leaving the ground, okay? There you go. That's way better. So again, that's even like that's a power boost. Same like in hockey, right? If you're loading on the back, you're not gonna let the skate flare out like that, right? You're gonna let it load in and then explode through, right? There you go. That's awesome. That's a move right there. Yeah. Nice. Oh, we throw up his swing speed on that last one. I just want to compare it to the earlier ones. Yeah, just a little less. Okay, well, actually, you've been pretty consistent. So we'll do a couple more at that speed because I feel like you're in a pretty comfortable zone there, and then we'll maybe knock it up a couple miles per hour. Awesome. We're behind it, but I like to adjust. You made some good adjustments with your grip there, so I noticed you were starting to get back a little weak again.
Yeah.
But that's great. You actually felt. It looked to me like you didn't have to make a big adjustment on it. You actually went in a little more comfortably into having shown me a couple knuckles right there. That's great. Check ball position. So hold on, stay there, don't move. Go down the sticks here. Just gonna check it back with. So we're just about middle there, and we want to get you feeling like we're back here a little bit. Yeah, because with their 7-iron, we're gonna be a little bit forward of middle. Okay. I can leave that there for a couple swings if you like.
Yeah.
Even when you're doing those practice swings, make sure that you're keeping the inside of that one. I want to make sure that every time on that backswing, they say just be diligent with it. That inside of that the left instep, or the right instep, sorry, is just locked into the ground, all right? Nice, that's great. Jeez, isn't that interesting? Like, you notice the difference in distance and smash factor, how they correlate like that?
Yeah, that was almost 20 yards further than
Yeah.
you were before.
Yeah. And less club head speed. Yeah, that's amazing. Wasn't very much ball spin on that one, but good. That was awesome. Fish Bros. That's awesome. So much better. It's really good. You missed that one a little bit, but that was that move that you're doing there. 100% better. The only reason that one didn't go as far was the spin rate was a little higher. But we're starting to find the middle of the face a little more consistently, so that's good. So this next little bit, we've done this before. We're gonna do it again, slow motion. So we're gonna go up. I'm gonna actually grab the ball. I'm gonna stand over there for me guys. Check ball position, distance. Gonna make sure it grips nice. What we're gonna do, feel like we're coming back. We can get that separation on the downswing, slow motion, get it all through. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Okay, let's do it slow motion where you're actually just pushing the ball like I did there. Alright. So I don't want you hitting it. I want you tracking, trying to get your hand-eye coordination working. Close, but see how you didn't get on your normal swing there? Alright. So you stayed a little too focused on one thing. We want to get you doing a couple things at the same time. So again, from the top, let's start up here. We're going to feel like the legs. We're going to initiate the down by getting a little separation in the knees and then slow motion through, but we're making sure that we're finishing our front side, heel off the ground, okay? So you're not trying to get any distance with this one. Yeah, keep moving, that's right, perfect. 2 more of that. Yeah, perfect. That's great. This one I want you just a little slower on the downswing. So we're really gonna feel like that uncorking, all right? Twisting out, and then when you're coming down through, try and just go nice and slow through impact for me. and this feel like you get down. Remember how we did so that our hands are kind of a little bit ahead of the club head?
Yeah.
Remember that? And then let it go through. All right, so kind of you're almost dragging it on the ground. Yeah. That's it. Perfect. That's exactly what I was looking for. Yeah. All right, full speed. I'm not gonna think. All right, with this, the only thing you're thinking about here is the green line. The other stuff will find its way. Okay. Got more space there. Just hitting low behind it, but other than that, it looks really good. Great. Yeah, the my favorite thing about what you did there was you actually got that exploded up. All right. Good. That's what we're looking for, about.
It's a beauty.
Yeah. Still not, killing the smash factor right now,
Yeah.
but we're getting better. And that was the exact curve that we're looking for. Not much curve, but starts out, doesn't cross the line. Push draw, he even said it. Nice. Alright. Let's get your, let's put you up there. Nice and fresh. Thank you for that, Bob.
33. 133.
133? Nice.
Something, that's a little.
That's our max smash factor. Nice. There it is. 133. Little inside, but man, isn't that something? I like how he's called out 133. The tendency is, like, if you wanted to miss, you're gonna get more power off a miss slightly off center on the inside than you are on the toe with your irons. With your driver, not the case. Really good. That's great. I mean, again, I'm going to be curious, Bob, and we'll look at this afterwards. I'm going to be really curious to see what his dispersion, his zone is like out there comparatively to even before, right? I think his grouping's really good. I mean, he hasn't had any big misses. That's the difference, right? Like no, and when you look at the core concentration, he's with 10 yards on either side.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you know, average. I'm not sure exactly what the average green size is, but I mean, what would be the average green size? That's a good question. I mean, I guess new school versus old school. New school greens are quite big, but you're going to have 10 yards generally on either side for the most part, because you're only talking that's 10 yards is 30 feet, right? So
A 60-foot green would be a big green in this part of the world.
in this part of the world, yeah. Ashburn would have lost them.
Yeah.
We'll hit a few more irons, then we'll move you on to a driver.
This area here is 28 by 32.
A small green.
So 60 would be big.
Nice. Maxed out. Smash factor. Spin rate was pretty good for that. Yeah, that's awesome.
We're going to lose some with the mat.
Yeah.
That's probably the best feeling one yet.
Yeah. Where did it hit? Just a little off center?
That was
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
good.
Yeah, that's great. Awesome, man. Oh, it's snuck over a little bit. All right, one more there, and then we'll move you into some drivers. Sort of creeping back to middle there a little bit, so I want you a little more forward. There you go. You want one more?
Sure.
I had a feeling. Just while we're doing the practice swings, and move this back a little bit, I want you making sure that we're hitting the ground in front of that line, right? Because the divot is going to start here and forward, right? We're not going to be catching any grass back here. So I want your practice swings almost like your real swing. I want you brushing down and hitting in front of that, in front of the alignment stick there. All right. I'll take a couple more. Actually, this is your last one, then we're going to move on for sure. Okay. Awesome. There you go. Good one to end on. For your 7-iron. That's perfect. 132, crushed it. 162 distance, club head speed. Nice. That's in your comfort zone of swing speed. Didn't try and kill it. Club path is bang on. See the correlation between the club path and the face. So face is a little close to the path and ends up bringing it back. So let's move on to the driver. Is that tee height good there, friend? Is that a little low?
Pretty good.
He's good?
Yeah.
heard that guy come in there.
I didn't hear.
I thought it was Brandon, then, but he sped off. So. The most exciting thing in there, Brandon, is the smash factor. We're getting that find the middle face. That felt good. It sounded really good. Man. Jeez. This for the camera. Okay. We're with the club fitter of the year, Bob Spicer. Awesome, Bob.
Thank you.
Gonna move back here to Brandon, take a couple looks. Want to make sure you're lining up right. So again, our starting point is a green stripe on the right. All right. Okay, we're gonna get you set up and then hold your position and don't swing, okay? So we're gonna set you all up. You tell me when you're ready. All right, don't move. All right, let's go back to you. Again, we're going to throw the parallel lines down here. That's all good. Yeah, it says pretty fair. So we're just starting at just outside the red, okay? So we're actually going to get you to, you go ahead and step into it there again. So again, a lot of times, you know, this is what we talk about a lot, especially with you or with anybody, is it doesn't have to be your swing. It can be just something as simple as how you're setting up. So, you know, knock your feet more like that. Yeah, there you go. Let me do a little reflection side. There you go. Now we're back on path a little bit. I need to cut a little bit of the ground there. All right, go through your routine. You know, we're gonna that move that we worked on there with your. It's the same thing with the driver. Trying to get that little bit of space in the knees going down, and then accelerate and make sure the hips are up at the finish. All right. There it is. Nice. With your setup here, Brandon, we're just going to work on getting you just a little less knee bend and then a little more upper body tilt, okay? So you're getting a little too much knee bend, body is a little too upright. get set up. Yeah, straighten the legs just a hair. Yeah, and then straighten the legs just a hair. There you go. And then just feel comfortable, so you're, again, if this is how we start, come down to about here, and then just take it comfortable with your knees, okay? Yeah, that's good. Awesome. Yeah, good starting line. Not much curve. Club head speed. What did we get up to last time, Bobby? He's a 90. He was. Were you into the hundreds there, weren't you?
Was it 105? Was
Yeah.
that max?
So this is his cruising speed, I would say right now. In the 93, I mean, you're not. You're up to 10 miles an hour faster. So I know you're thinking about a couple things. So let's take some of the thought out of it right now, and let's get you swinging a little bit harder. There you go. Good. Right center. All right, go through your whole routine. Whatever that ball flight does, that was a really, really great swing. So I want you doing exactly what you did in that swing with your practice swings, okay? So your practice swings, you were falling back into more knee bend, more upright. And so you were taller with your body, less tilt. So we want to get you a little more tilt and then a little less knee bend, okay? So you know what I mean? Because when you set up with your driver to actually hit it, you got settled and then you got over exactly the way you should. And so I want your practice routine to be the same as that, okay? And then throw another driver in your hand after this next one, okay? There you go. Awesome. Alright, smash back is good. Front of the face. I had this set up for you before you came. You'll actually notice quite a big difference in this one. But we'll see. I have you set to 10.5 and standard. Alright. Huh? Should. Can we vlog this in there, Bob, as knowing where he started with this club?
So we changed that switch drivers.
Did you? Oh, thank you. Too good. Club of the year. That's it. All right, same practice swing as in the real go here. like the consistency with the spin on that. Like he's been getting pretty consistent spins there. You need to lower that a little bit, just a little bit. 20.
Get down 1,000.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Okay, looking good though.
The launch angle up over 4 degrees.
Is it?
That's what you need.
That's good.
Get the launch angle up.
So we could adjust his tee height there a little bit. That could help. He's getting pretty low, but his angle of attack's really good. You know, like the tour average between. Yeah, it's down 1. Yeah. But the long ballers are. Let's get you back this way a little bit more. There you go. See, because again, if I take where you're at right now, don't move, and I put this across, right, I'm going to draw a 90-degree right angle there. I want just off the inside of your left heel. All right, so I want you back just a little bit more. There you go. That's your ball position. I know it probably feels a little forward, but so that's pretty normal considering I moved the ball,
Yeah.
your ball position up there. See, it's interesting, Bob. Like, that's just the tendency is to do that for Brandon specifically. All right, there you go. Good through good. All right, so we got the spin, better club path. All right, one more with that one, and then I'm gonna try you one other one here. Want to see that practice routine exactly like we were talking about? There you go. Awesome, man. Your backswing looks great. Really looking solid. You switch your ball?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I felt like we needed to, because what we talked about a couple weeks ago when we were here was just making sure that we had the right shaft in that driver for you. Alright, all things being the same, we hit a 10.5 Bob before.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to keep them at a 10.5 standard. Now, it's a pretty new driver too. So a little bit low and a little bit on the inside. Where we want to get, you know, these ones right up around here because that's the sweet spot. All right. This one's $63.70. What I'm saying, this is. Do we? Oh, cool.
You get 2 more steps.
one right there is going to be better. What do you think?
I got in trouble the last time.
A lot of maybe a little too much spin with this one. How do you feel like you're hitting those?
With this shaft.
Yeah, like do you feel like you're hitting them pretty good? Or missing a little bit?
Yeah.
Or again, so we don't lose focus on, you know, what we are ultimately working on is you finding middle of the club face, working again. So we'll just go over again what it was, and we can do a couple slow motions in this too. Again, and back, little separation with the knee on the down to start off, and then exploding up so we get the hips going up this way, head not going back or not going forward. We want to stay in back to the ball. Okay. All right, let's feel like you're going to take a little bit harder rip at this one. All right, so I want you to do 3 swings here. We're going to max this. We're going to max this one out. It's great. I'm going to be able to get this whole thing on camera, so we'll be able to see what the difference between the max up there. I noticed one thing actually. It's good though. I'm glad to see that you get the club head speed back up there, because that was really exciting for me the other day, was to be able to see your club head speed really reaching a new level there. Like soon that this feeling what your max will be like will end up being your regular in the groove swing, and you'll be able to max that out a couple more. All right.
Great.
What's that?
Seems to be Gretzky.
Oh, there it is, yeah. Oh, man. Hold on. So, again, a little bit at the top of this, coming this way, just a hair. So, I just want to make sure that we're feeling like, again, knees separate, all right? Slow motion for me here. Yes, that's it. That's awesome. Nailed it. Really good. That was your best lag work I've seen yet, by far. What does this look like? Probably one of your better results too for swing speed. That one you really, all the things that we talked about there, you nailed it. Got a little separation, but you exploded up through. Hips were going up. Yeah, really important. You stayed back, really nice. I want to throw. So you think there's a 65 in here, do you? There's a 65 extra, but I don't want that. Oh. That's one. 60.
There's two Fuji Pros.
60. 61.
Well, the other one was standard. You got one standard.
We could try this one though. That's a standard. Yeah.
There's them both.
Alright. That one said 61 on it.
Yeah.
So the same thing here. Check it out. Just a little on the inside there, right? So you've heard the gear factor?
No.
So the fastest part of the club is actually the outside, because if you think about it like a gear, right? Like a gear on a bicycle, the chain with all the grids in it, the inside versus the outside, right? So which would be going fastest, my elbow or the end of my hand? Right. So it's the same thing with the golf club. Even though it's only that little bit of difference, that's the fastest part of the club head speed. That's closest to the center to give you the max. But it's nice to see that you're very consistent, where he's hitting it very consistent with his irons and his driver. They're all just a little off center on the inside. Irons, that's going to help him. Driver, not so much. You hold that for a sec. Thanks. Did you just enter that, or did you already have that in there?
Just put it in.
Nice.
Everything's titled.
That's fun. What are these two that are exactly like that?
I think there's a slight difference in the two of them.
Must be in.
You get into your kick points and stuff like that. You have to do the research on those Fuji Pros.
Yeah, right. Yeah. This one I just had. Yeah. Okay.
61 on the project.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Alright. We're practicing. We're still doing that on the down. Little separation starts it, then explode with your hip up. Alright. A little more at the end there. A little more explosion, straighten that left leg. All right. There it is. Good. backswing there. I know we're working on things. Gonna keep this one right into the ground. No, none of that. All right, because that's a power loss. All right. Anytime we roll out like that, power loss. You're gonna drive that in because that's gonna be your push off. All right. Driving that in on the back, separate, and then explode up. Okay. There it is. Good. Awesome. Really good. Your lag work right now is just mountains better than the last time you were in here. Really good. Because you're understanding it. I get that it's actually you know what I mean about like that little bit of gap and then exploding through like it's sinking in. I feel it. Oh man, you're getting those. That one seems to have a nice matchup with spin for him.
These ones are a lot more like off the sweet spot.
Oh yeah, well yeah they have. But you can see even the smash factor's gone up. Yeah, you're nailing the smash factor, so spin rates are good. Yeah, that's the difference too. Hitting up on them a little bit, so that's great. That's exciting for me to see those numbers for you. You know, that's really. All right, be diligent there with that backswing. I saw the inside of that foot lift up. There you go. Awesome, man. That's great. I know they're hanging out there a little bit, but you got a couple things going on in your head, and the beauty of it is, again, find the middle of the club face. What's his launch angles like there? Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Check the grip. There you go. Hold off there a little bit on that one. Oh, back on me there. All right, you got a Sharpie there? Okay. I'm gonna do a little something for your grip. All right. Gonna make that black. Yeah, that's great. You don't mind me marking on your glove. All right. So we're gonna have this. Let's get your hand on the glove. We're gonna see when we get this V, because we want this V pointing up at that shoulder right there, right? You can see two knuckles, so you should be able to always see right here. All right, when you're looking down, and this right here. All right, there you go. So if that angle gets upright, too weak, right? If it gets pointed back at that shoulder, it should bang on. And that's your standard grip. That's not strong that's just a neutral style grip. Got a bad reading on that one. Alright, practice swing, make sure you're doing the move, keep that inside of your right foot planted in the ground. A little separation with the knees on the downswing and then exploding through with your hips up. Yeah, that's it. Alright, you know what, I didn't even realize what time it is. It's like 7:35. Really great job though, so again, we're going to do a wrap up here of what we did. I'll grab it for you. The difference in the shafts that we did, Bob, the major thing that we went from yours, you got a 70-gram shaft, went down in weight. Stiffness the same. I'm gonna have to check and see what the difference is with kick points on this one, but it seemed to give you a good launch angle and pretty consistent. I know you're hitting the middle of the face, but it's nice to see those numbers from you. But again, what we're gonna take away from this is, and I want you to feel like this when you're going home. It was a video that I was trying to find for you, but we're going to get up next to the wall. We're going to turn, keeping that in, and the deal is we're going to feel like when this separation happens, this knee is going to be pushing towards the wall, and it's going to explode up, but you're going to stay back this way a little angle back like that. So again, pretty close to the wall, back, we're going to feel like that's locking into the ground, little separation with the knee, explode up, and get the hip going, okay? So that's all, nothing crazy, but we're feeling like this knee goes like that. Little separation there. A really good job, man. That was awesome. Yeah. I'll switch you out here. Actually, no, I don't really want it. Yeah, thanks. That is a big difference, though. Yeah.